story we're tracking this hour. So the updates coming in as the pictures on your screen suggest from different parts of Bengaluru. We are talking about the IT capital here of India as multiple cases of waterlogging and traffic jams that have been reported from all over the city. The pictures there speaking for itself, as there are some areas where knee-deep waters that have also been reported. There is a high alert that has also been sounded, and this was, as far as the BBMP is concerned, promising that this time around there would be no issues of waterlogging. All of those promises have now fallen flat. Look at those pictures there. It is the rain fury that has choked the city, the IT capital Bengaluru, as many such locations that have been reported, where even in high-end and posh societies that people are unable to get out of their houses as well. This is the condition of the Karnataka roads in Bengaluru as well. Let me go across straight to Bengaluru, where Imran is joining us right now. Imran, last night it had been raining all night long. Today the situation, because we are getting the reality check of how Bengaluru roads have now turned into ponds and lakes.
Well, absolutely. In fact, I am at the Manita Tech Park, one of the newest tech parks in Bengaluru. Just recently, the Tech Park Association had written to the Chief Minister saying that because of the incessant rains and waterlogging in the area, they are losing out on business and it is crumbling the infrastructure in the city. As you can see, I'm in the Tech Park, I'm knee-deep water. I can ask the cameraman and show you at least for another 2 kilometers what we're getting to know from the people here, that is area is completely flooded with water. Most of the top companies have offices here, including Nokia, IBM, all the top name you name, the offices are there. But this entire stretch is flooded with water, affecting thousands of workers here who are already have a harrowing commute because of its located ring road. It's always known for having traffic jams, and over this water is flooded in this area. And this is a flyover which connects people coming to the tech park to the ring road there, and now it's unusable because of the water in this area. As you can see, the entire area is flooded now with water, and as I said earlier, the Tech Park Association had earlier returned to the Chief Minister to ease the issue now. Since last night, we have been here for almost an hour now. None of the BBMP officials have come here to ensure that they drain out the water here. This area is also very close to the Nagwara Lake, so that was also another issue here in this area, that water comes into this tech park. As you can see, many of the IT companies officials work here, and not just in Tech Park, as you were mentioning earlier. Many of the OR Ring Road, the CM had done 2 visits there, along with the local MLA Arvind Limbavali, who got into infamous controversy with the woman there who sought his help to clear out water in her area. And now again, what we'll show in a short while from now, will show also that area, how that area is inundated with water. And now it's not just the low-lying areas, in mainlands also, like in Indiranagar, we've seen the water has entered into areas where people are not able to access the ground floor because of the water there. And we're talking about with the tech park here, like as you can see, I'm in knee-deep water here, and this is a situation. Water is further, if you go further, they said even the more concentration of water is there on this area, and it is having a hard time for employees accessing the road here. They have to divert the traffic on the ring road, which is causing a traffic issue in this area. As you can see, this is the situation in Bengaluru now. Because of one spell of rain, the entire city is inundated with water, and we are talking about the tech capital of Asia, and this is a situation there. In other areas which are which are low-lying areas, which are a lot of poor people are there, their entire ground floor is flooded with water. People are not able to access other issues, they're not able to come out of the building. They are going up to the 2nd or 3rd floor to ensure that the water later in the day, if it recedes, they can go back to their normal lives.
Right, but what happened to those promises, Imran? BBMP had promised no flooding this time around. What happened to those promises? Because we are also playing out multiple pictures, there are visuals coming in from across the city. There is hardly any road that you can see.
Well, absolutely. See, every time, every government, despite irrespective of which government is there, all the governments promise that they will solve the issue. In fact, during Siddaramaia's time, many of the houses which had illegally occupied stormwater drains, action was taken, but it was stopped midway when it came to many, powerful people's houses or establishments were there. Now, this time also, the BBMP has made a list of 636 establishment houses which are illegally occupying stormwater drains, and they will be demolished. Every time this is an issue, during rains, this is a situation. The BBMP says that they will clear out all this illegal encroachments, but every year it's the same issue. People are pouring out their anger on the Twitter and social media. In fact, Bengaluru rains is one of the trending topic on Twitter right now today. Many people are sharing the problems that they're facing, especially now at Bellandur Lake, because of it has breached the lake. Many of the people have not been able to commute. Citizens are putting out messages on social media that please do not come to Bellandur Lake. The area is inundated with water. Vehicles are not able to move because of water. The vehicles are just stopped there. Out at the Silk Boat Junction. At the Silk Boat Junction, we saw that one person had to be rescued by the NDRF officials who was drowning, and many are putting out that not come to this area, not come to this area, because entire area is flooded with water and the vehicles are getting jammed because of water entering the engine, and they are not able to access the road, and heavy traffic jams have been witnessed across Bangalore. I can show you, see that car which tried to enter but had to push back by the security officials here, saying that the water is too much and the water can get jammed and the vehicle could be stranded. So these vehicles are being diverted here. As you can see, this is one of the main flyover connecting the Mohandas Pai
Well, the road is not visible. There is hardly any road in the IT capital which has not been inundated, because as Imran is getting us those updates, even the Bellandur Lake has breached water and has been flowing into nearby areas. This is also coming at a time when the netizens there have been sharing multiple videos, and there are premium societies, high-end societies, they also are witnessing flooding for the first time. Now we are also looking at how the police are urging the citizens not to step out unless necessary, as huge traffic congestion is expected during the work hours today. So let me go across to Mr. Mohandas Pai. He's with us on the broadcast, sir. It must be not a good morning, especially on a Monday for the Bengalurans today. Waking up, we're getting pictures how even the outer ring road seems to be badly affected.
No, it is true. I think yesterday's rain has been very heavy and again it's been flooded. It's a continuing problem. After last week's flooding, we thought that they will do some emergency action, but it doesn't seem to happen. I think we just have to, make sure that in the next 15-20 days, on a war footing, government acts. Government has been very complacent. The BBMP has been very complacent. They think that whenever something's happen, all they have to do is meet people, pacify them, promise, and we'll all forget about it. We have been listening to them and forgetting for the last 15-20 years. So I think it is terrible. It's time that, the Chief Minister and the Chief Minister took action immediately and created a crisis management team to make sure that the area comes back to normal and things are done, and whatever cleaning has to be done on a war footing. This is very, very bad for Bangalore, Karnataka. It's a simmering problem, and now it has come to a crisis point.
No, but sir, especially when we talk about the city, it's like over 3,000 feet above the sea level, sir. And even if Bangalore is concerned, I mean, waterlogging in such kind of pictures, it's never seen before.
No, the problem is the local drains are blocked. You see, Bangalore is a city of lakes. There are many lakes. About 70% of the lakes have been breached, but there are still other lakes. One lake flows from another, one lake overflows to another lake. When it overflows, it goes to what is called a Raja Kalve. Raja Kalve is a culvert, but those are all blocked by illegal construction and by roads. And the drains are very small. So whenever it rains heavily, once in 10 years, once in 50 years, once in 100 years, you see the impact. That is what has happened. It's got nothing to do about being above 3,000 feet. All it has to do is about the undulating landscape. If there are ups and downs and it rains, the lower areas will naturally collect all the water and it has to be drained. And the drainage system was very good, but they have all been breached. So I think once you have this heavy rain, you have this problem. So I think it is a man-made problem. It's not a nature's problem, man-made problem. It has to be rectified. But it is very sad. The problem is people have lost confidence in the government's ability to give good infrastructure.
But already, Mr. Pai, we have been raising several issues, especially when it comes to rains and how bad is the condition of Bangalore roads. I mean, time and again, we are reporting of how people have been losing their lives. This is civic apathy at its peak. And now, when it comes to the conditions there of the roads, what is being said that there is hardly any 10% of road in the entire city which are in a drivable condition.
No, Bangalore is a big city. See, Bellandur area is a small area of Bangalore, but it's a high density area. In that area, maybe 10 lakh people are employed. You know, what saddens me is any city in the world, any country in the world will be proud of all those companies and those logos in that street. It carries the logos of some of the greatest companies in the world. But, you know, despite all of them being there, the state government just refuses to give them good infrastructure and understand. All they give is the mere words when things happen. I think, you know, they have to take drastic action. This is a result of corruption, illegal construction, lack of care, maintenance, unnecessary, lack of vision, etc. The Chief Minister has to have a crisis meeting. He has to collect all the people and demonstrate in 15-20 days what he's going to do. I think it's a crisis.
As an action plan that is needed right now. An action plan that is needed.
Yes. Visible action is needed, not words. Visible action is needed. Visible action.
All right. Mr. Pai, thank you very much for your point of view there. Let me go back to Imran and the breaking update that we're getting from the Bellandur Lake that has now breached water flowing into nearby areas as well. Imran, you were getting us the story because you heard Mr. Pai. He's talking about an action plan and a visible action plan. There has been red flags that have been raised in the past, but no action that has been taken.
Well, absolutely. In fact, as you were rightly pointing out, that this is a man-made issue. Many of the stormwater drains have been given permission by the BBMP for the construct houses illegally. Many of the lake beds have been given permission to build buildings, and naturally, these are low-lying areas. And when rain happens, then the catchment area is where the water comes, and naturally, these areas where the permission given was on lake bed, as you saw, and illegally which was given, there the waterways accumulates and
all right, but if we talk about the Chief Minister there, let's play out his reaction as well, because Chief Minister Bommai has been saying that I'll call the IT companies and speak to them related to the issues. I'll also discuss about the compensation to them related to the damages that has been caused due to rains.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸಿ
ಅವರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ
ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸಿ
ಅವರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ
ಸರ್.
Right, Imran, coming back to you on that, the priorities for the Chief Minister is talking to the IT companies because they have been reporting losses, or to work actually on the problem, which is on bad roads and the conditions that continue to prevail in Bengaluru.
Well, absolutely. I mean, there was no need to pay compensation of the groundwork which was there, which is necessary, which would already been done. And it's not an issue that it is happening today or yesterday. It is a perennial issue, and irrespective of the governments, the problem persists. And we are talking about IT sector here, which is one of the, which is considered as the pride of Bengaluru. And this is a state of affairs of the IT sector in Bengaluru. As I can see, I can ask my cameraman to show you. There is I can see on the flyover is that where the world comes to work, but definitely the world is not coming. Nobody is coming to work today there because of the rains. I can ask, this is the logo on the bridge there. I can see where the world comes to work. Unfortunately, no one is coming to work today because of the water here, and in this flyover and the subjugation entire area in this area. What the security guys are informing us, that close to 1.5 kilometer area in this entire IT park is surrounded with water now. I myself in knee-deep water, and many of the vehicles who are there coming, you can see. I can ask Panwash Carmen to show you. The security guards are stopping the traffic to coming to this particular area and diverting the employees to the other route, to take a round route and go back to their offices. Many are not able to access their office itself as compared completely their offices are inundated with water, and what we're getting to know, the offices have asked employees to work from home. As you can see from behind me, these are the offices there with many of the top logos of the IT sector, the Nokia, the IBM, name it, all of them are here in this IT building, and they are not able to access the building because of the rainwater. And as I said earlier, recently the IT Association had also complained to the Chief Minister. Now this is an issue which has been occurring again and again, despite governments, despite we've seen with the coalition government and the Congress government, now the BJP government. The Chief Minister also did a tour of all the surrounding areas, and he did a city tour. He identified the waterlogged issues, and they said that they will demolish the 636 buildings which are illegally encroached stormwater drain. The question is, why were they given permission in the first instance itself? And if that is the case, who are the errant officials? What action will be taken against them for giving permission buildings to come up on stormwater drains and on lake beds, which is a clear violation? We saw earlier how a top builder was asked to demolish his building by the NGT tribunal, saying that they have violated it.
Well, that's the point there, because we're inviting viewers also who are watching the broadcast live from Bengaluru itself to actually talk about the issues that they have been facing. Jaya, I believe, is joining us. Jaya, good morning. What are you seeing around you this morning when you woke up? Jaya, I believe, are you from Mumbai or from Bengaluru, if you can hear me? Jaya, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so can you just clear us from your location? Are you from Bengaluru or from Mumbai?
No, I'm from Mumbai, but I would like to speak. Yes.
Yes, please go on, go on.
Yes, this is the same story every year in most of these metropolitan cities. What is the cause? It is obvious to any child also. It is civic apathy and the nexus between all the builders and civic authorities. Why? Because they do not have any plan for a city. India has such a rich history where the historical sites have shown very good planning, town planning, whether it's Mohenjo-daro or Harappa. What has happened to town planning today? It is all just completely ignored, because they're all mercenary people who are netas, the civic authorities. They care to hoots for the safety of the citizens once they are in power, and they want to continue to be in power. And so the buildings everywhere, you have water bodies being covered and buildings being constructed, and they do not have a plan for the water to move smoothly. And in a country like ours,
and Jaya, to say the least, the authorities that are looking after and who are responsible are actually the richest civic bodies that we are talking about in the country altogether. So where is that money exactly going? There is no responsibility or accountability that can be seen or noted here. Thank you very much, Jaya, for your point of view. Varun is also with us. Varun, good morning. What do you have to say?
Hello, very good morning. And unfortunately, it's not a great morning or a great last few days for Bangalore.
I'm sure.
The only thing I want to say is that, yes, the previous caller spoke about planning, but the basic thing is that someone who loves the city should be at the helm of affairs. An upstanding citizen and resident of, say, even someone like a Mohandas Pai should be at the helm of affairs, because the one who loves the city understands and only gives solutions to us. And I think we public now cannot sit on our hands. We have to take up the responsibility and question each and every move of the politicians and the BBMP. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say that Bangalore will no longer be the crown jewel or the IT capital of India.
Right, Varun, because we were speaking to Mr. Pai a short while back, and he says that we need to see some action, some visible action there on ground. Brajesh Kalappa is also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Kalappa, there are people there, Bengalurians, who are upset, and visibly upset so because they have been seeing what their city has been reduced to.
No, it's, I think, most shocking that, government after government comes and they say the very same thing, that, this has been a extraordinary rain, therefore we're not able to contain it. I mean, Bangalore is known for rain. Bangalore is known for its high altitude. So then rains are bound to happen. And if this kind of preparedness continues, then it's shocking that, we are called a millennium city. And even Obama mentions Bangalore in his address. And at a time like that, if you're not able to contain rains, then I think the city is an ill-planned place. So, and if it's ill-planned, then the people who are running it are not running it in the proper fashion. So this is no answer to it. So I think, first of all, the government must be extremely serious about it. How many meetings has the Chief Minister conducted? How many meetings has the Chief Secretary conducted? And Bangalore is a core area, no? So you can't say that, since a lot of investment comes in the name of Bangalore, if they are serious about it, then let them begin by solving these issues. One can't just keep
firms, Mr. Kalappa, because they have been saying that they have been facing a lot of losses. Of course, Bengaluru city is infamously also known for its bad traffic situation. But when it comes to rains, IT firms have been complaining that there is a lot of losses that they have to face. Thank you very much, Mr. Kalappa, for that update. Mr. DK Shivakumar is also with us on the phone line. Mr. DK Shivakumar, Bangalore is waking up to see that the entire city is inundated. It's underwater, sir.
Bangalore pays the highest revenue in the country. Almost 39% of the Indian revenue from the exports is being paid from Bangalore. This is what the government has to look at. When they are the big taxpayers, we have to look at their problems. So Bangalore, whatever the water rains has to come, but without proper planning, I don't... within 1 day or 2 days, all these problems can't be sorted out. But the government has not taken any initiative from last few years, especially from last 3 years. Rains have started coming heavily, and no plan of action has been taken, and the quality of work is very poor. And due to this 40% commission, the entire not paying bill in the time has caused these problems everywhere. A lot of blocks has happened. I think the Chief Minister is also in charge of this entire city. He should take a call to help all the traders. Whatever the letter request written to the Prime Minister is true. There is nothing hidden secret in it.
Right, sir.
So government has to take a call.
But sir, do you believe, because the people there are unhappy, they say as far as the civic body is concerned, because the governments continue to make promises, but no action is being seen on ground. Do you believe this is a man-made tragedy or a natural one?
That is why they doesn't believe they have, that they have a problem in the BBMP election, corporation elections. That is how they did not even connect the corporation BBMP election, because they have failed and people will throw them out.
All right. Mr. DK Shivakumar, thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. We are getting many of those viewers who are continuously calling us to tell us the state of affairs. Mr. BK Raj is with us, sir. When did you wake up this morning? What did you see outside? Mr. BK Raj, can you hear me, sir? All right, just getting those lines reconnected. Our phone lines are continuously buzzing, especially from people there in Bengaluru, because they are waking up to see that their city has been inundated. Many of those prime stretches that are said to be the main junctions, they are inundated. Waterlogging that has been reported. Javalji is with us from Bengaluru, joining us here. Hi, can you hear me? What do you have to say?
Well,
yes, please go on.
Hey, ma'am. Myself, Civic. I am a resident of Bangalore. The visuals what you're showing on your TV is the same way I reached my home yesterday. It took me almost 1.5 hours to reach, 8 kilometers. I don't know how come the core of Bangalore is still waterlogging, and there is no audit from the government. People just do something, they dig all around, and there is no responsibility taken from any kind of authorities. There should be some kind of third-party audit to be, conducted on everything they do it. I think that is one thing which will, one or the other way expose corruption or negligence from the authorities.
Because they cannot blame it on the nature every time, no? Thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. Mr. Narayan is also with us. He's calling us from Bengaluru. Yes, Mr. Narayan, what do you have to say?
My name is Narahari, not Narayan. I'm calling from Bengaluru.
All right, we have another caller there. Yes, Mr. Narahari, go on.
See, always rain fury, it is happening. It is because of the lot of Raja Kalways, that is the main valleys that have been encroached upon. Even in the Manyata Tech Park, there is valley going through the Manapatak, that has been encroached, and the width has been reduced. The depth is reduced. Where will the water go? Water will probably come onto the road only. That is the situation. And similarly, there are other places in the city where a lot of malls, etc., have been constructed, and the Radha Kalves, the main valleys which carries the excess water outside the city, it leaks into the Rishabhavati Valley. Earlier it was called Rishabhavati Nadi, that is river. Now it has become a great name for dirty water.
Right, but there is no outlet for water. Of course, it will have no place to go. So that is why we are looking at how main roads, and Outer Ring Road is one of those main roads in the city that has been badly affected. Thank you very much for calling us here. People there are the ones who are at the receiving end. They are bearing the brunt of what they are calling it negligence on part of the civic authorities. There are two-wheelers who are seen floating on the water near the Spice Garden of Marathahalli. This is the second time in a week where waterlogging has been reported also in the Whitefield area. Let me go across to Pankaj now. Pankaj, you are also calling in from Bengaluru. Did you even manage to reach office on time, or you've been asked to work from home?
My first question to all the Bangaloreans is that if we can work during COVID time from home, why we have to go to office today? That is the bigger issue. If the issue is that the people are
reaching to office, going to office would be one of the requirements there. Of course, the work from home cannot continue till eternity.
Completely agree. But we are blocking roads for someone who is in emergency. I am staying on Sarjapur Road. I can see the traffic for almost 6 kilometers now. And the ambulances are going on the wrong side.
That's bad.
Just because they have to reach. So why people have to go to office?
That's bad. That's really bad, because you're mentioning ambulances that have been stuck. I believe we also have a ground report from there itself. Thank you very much, Pankaj, for joining us here on the broadcast, because let's play out more ground reports to get you a first-hand update. What is the situation as of now?
Lot of traffic jam, and also an ambulance has been stuck in this traffic jam because of this water logging over here which is happening. You can also see the ambulance has been stuck over here, and people are really facing a lot of problems. They're almost standing from past 1 hour in this traffic, and you can see how bad the situation right now it is in Bangalore. No officials are taking any kind of precautions over here, and you can see over here the traffic jam is really very bad due to bad condition of roads and also water logging which is happening. This entire stretch has a lot of water logging, and also an ambulance has been stuck from a very long time in this area. And now you can see it is slow moving traffic, and also because of these water logging areas, the traffic has been stuck, and now that the people over here are facing a lot of issues, and also complaining that officials are not taking any kind of precautions, and they are literally complaining that the government is not at all helping the citizens in Bengaluru. With video journalist Pradeep, this is Toyajakshi reporting for Mirror Now from Bangalore.